When is it okay to be mean? I hate being mean. It sucks. It's to me it's the worst thing, you know. I don't like it when people are mean to me, and I certainly don't like being mean and intentionally as well, you know, but I have come to learn in my years, in my maturity, that there are certain times when it is absolutely necessary to be mean, to say mean things that are mean. And it's only when like say, you know, we're talking about a relationship with a person where you have done everything in your power to communicate something to them. You have tried your best, but despite your best efforts, it just doesn't sink in, and it has gotten to a point where you just where it has become serious, you know. And it's the problem is with some people, it's like if you don't frame what you have to say in a way that is harsh, you know, that is mean, it just doesn't register. They just kind of laugh it off and go, and they just never, it never sinks in because they're, I don't know if they've just grown accustomed to people being so nice to them. And you know, for me, I hate it because I am a very nice person in my, um, you know, it's how I see myself, anyways. And I'm known for it too, you know, for being a nice person, for being kind, for being uh, for being generous. Anyways, I can't trip it over my words, but um, yeah, and so it's, you know, it's tough when you need to be out of character to let somebody know that you're not playing games, that this isn't a joke, and that because if you aren't like super clear, then it's like it can get missed, and that's the problem. And it's frustrating, you know. But I mean, for myself, I have learned um, at this point in my life that there is no substitution for standing your own ground. If you just allow yourself to be in relationships with people who don't honor you, who don't respect you because they don't honor and respect themselves, and it's not personal, but still, when you're dealing with a person like that who is essentially wounded, who has some issues, you know, ego and things like this, and a past, and you know, they say hurt people, and you know, it's not your job to fix people. But then there's this saying, it's like, what is a good man but a bad man's job? Uh, what is a good man? What is a bad man but a good man's job? What is a good man but a, anyways, it's along those lines. And it's just like, you know, we are responsible to each other in a sense. Responsible meaning um, we have the ability to respond. And sometimes, you know, as sad as it is, the most appropriate way to respond to a person who um, is just not getting the picture is by putting things in a way that they cannot mistake. Because if you sugarcoat things, you know, if you're too polite, if you're too friendly, if you're too nice, if you're too accommodating, if you're too hospitable, you know, if you're too friendly, you know, then they just don't get it. And then you can find yourself in a what do you call it, a like a vicious cycle, because you are essentially, anytime you choose to engage with this person, you are subjecting yourself to a person who is abusive, and who is disrespectful, and who doesn't honor, and who doesn't listen, and who doesn't pay attention, and isn't, you know, yeah. So, um, it's a sad thing, being like that, and it often, results in cutting ties. Um, and I don't know what to do about it, because it's like it only ever comes to that point when you've been dealing with somebody, for such a long period of time. So, like, this person, but it's gotten, you know, to a point that it's just unhealthy anymore. And it's just so sad that's how it works out, like when you try absolutely everything to communicate something about what you need from a person. It's like, hey, when I'm talking to you, I need to feel safe. I need to feel like I'm not going to be attacked because I'm going to be vulnerable with you. I'm opening up, I'm sharing things that are important to me, and yeah, there's just it's a sad situation. But I mean, it's also, I can say that anytime I've ever had to deal with a situation like this, and I have stood up for myself, it's been hugely empowering. I've been able afterwards to be very proud of myself and say, yes, you damn rights, because if I don't stand up for me, who's going to? Especially when you have someone who is abusive, who's taking advantage of you, who doesn't mean to, who, often has a victim mentality and an ego problem. But I mean, yeah, you have to stand up for yourself. You have to take care of yourself. If you don't, it's called self-sabotage. And if that's what you're, you know until you have it explained to you like that, you might not recognize it. But certainly once I had somebody share that idea with me, and I was able to stand back and look at how I was self-sabotaging my own life by putting up with the abuse of others, it made a lot of sense. And I started making moves to make sure that I wasn't abusing myself by making myself a doormat so that other people could walk all over me.